Anyone else like to address us? Yes, sir.
Yeah, greetings, councilors. My name is Jared Grifoni. I'm Mark Weiland resident, 141 Leland Way. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for having this item on the agenda and giving us the opportunity to speak on its behalf. I'd like to start by saying that this resolution presented here today is in front of the appropriate body. Our system of government in the United States is not a direct democracy. It is a republic. A direct democracy would require all citizens to vote on any action of government, whether it was a law or resolution, whether it was at the city level or up to the national level. As James Madison wrote in Federalist Paper number 10, the Republican form of government in the United States allows for an indirect control of the government by the people through their elected officials, and that extends from the city council level all the way up to our president. Let us not forget that the Supreme Court recently held in Heller versus the District of Columbia and McDonald versus the City of Chicago that the Second Amendment has an individual right to keep and bear arms. This is also mentioned in the Florida Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, and again mentions specifically an individual right. Article 1, Section 1.03 of the Marco Island City Charter also states, quote, "All powers possible are granted to the city under the Constitution and the laws of the state of Florida. The city shall have all governmental, corporate, and proprietary powers to enable it to conduct municipal government, perform municipal functions, and render municipal services. The city may exercise any power for municipal purposes unless expressly prohibited by law." End quote. Now, this is in accordance with the Florida Constitution, Article 8, Section 2B, and also Florida Statute 166.021, excuse me. This allows us as a city to enact our own ordinances, codes, plans, and resolutions without prior state approval, and to enforce them here at home. What are municipal functions and services or purposes? Well, really, it's anything pertaining to local or town government, city government, and more particularly, Florida statute defines it for us in 166.021 as meaning any activity or power which may be exercised by the state or its political subdivisions. So the resolution in front of you right now would require that the City Council of Marco Island ask the Collier County Board of Commissioners and the legislature of the state of Florida and the governor of the state of Florida to stand firm on the people's right to keep and bear arms, which again is an individual right as affirmed by the Supreme Court. Also, and more importantly, and I think this is the distinction that some people are missing, that this would require that city resources are not used to implement unconstitutional federal laws, executive orders, or directives that infringe upon our established rights. Now, established rights, we're not talking about people owning nuclear bombs or anything else, grenade launchers or anything like that. We're talking about established rights, established by the courts. And those rights include an individual right to keep and bear arms. So these actions are entirely within the scope of authority for the city of Marco Island. Now, in the alternative, if the city of Marco Island doesn't retain these rights, then there would be state rights. And under the state law, it says that any right that the state has, the city has under the Home Rule statutes. So if we don't have the right and the state doesn't have the right, well, then who does? So I don't think that this city council or the citizens of Marco Island would like to see those powers and authorities ceded so easily. We are endowed with those rights by our Creator and also inherent in our humanity. As citizens of this Republican form of government that Madison spoke of in Federalist 10, as citizens under the United States Constitution, the Florida Constitution, we are here to demand that you take action on this measure and vote on it up or down, yes or no, on behalf of the citizens you represent, with a solemn oath to the Constitution that you all took in mind and under the municipal powers of the City of Marco Island Charter, to take a stand for liberty today and vote in the affirmative on this measure.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?